Andy Heckle. This is Brennan Fink. This is Tom Dupree, Joe Kavicki, Aaron Kearns, and Ben Hastings. The purpose of this presentation is to illustrate the opportunity that Paladin has in the private security industry. So the private security industry is currently the second most deadly job in America. It employs over 1 million security officers. There are 9.4 deaths per 100,000 officers annually. This is because security officers work in very dangerous environments. They patrol dark buildings, and they run into dangerous and sometimes armed trespassers. Because of this, it's imperative that security officers have excellent situational awareness so that they can react quickly, appropriately, and protect themselves. If we look at the chart on the right, left, right, this depicts the causes of fatalities among security guards. It is broken into assaults and violent acts, falls in contact, exposure to environment, and transportation incidents. If we regroup these categories, we can see that 72% of these incidents could have possibly been prevented with better situational awareness. Paladin has created a device that can help protect security officers by giving them a better grasp of their situation. Now, Brennan Fink will talk about our specific solution and how it can protect security officers.
Thank you, Andy. IDC's solution to this issue is a 2-in-1 system that combines a tactical flashlight and a thermal imaging system. The tactical flashlight portion of this product will allow general illumination. It's also equipped with high lumen LEDs and a strobe capability, which will allow the user to disorient assailants. The thermal imaging portion of this product is useful for illuminating people and evidence in the dark. As you can see on the right, this is the current mock-up of the product. This has been made by Kaleidoscope, which is the industrial design firm. We have determined opportunities in both the markets of fire and law enforcement. So we have looked into the security industry as an additional market for this product. The security industry is very large. You can see on the graph on the right that it is comparable in size to both of the previous industries. The security industry has 1.1 million employees in the United States alone, and there are many varying firms with different specialties. This can be seen with the key players such as Securitas, G4S, Allied Martin, and ADT. Some of these firms specialize in the transportation of money from point A to point B, while others specialize in home security and perimeter defense. This industry is very large, and all of these players combine into a $30 billion industry that is growing every year. Tom will now introduce the key areas of this industry and how each of those areas use our product.
Security market can be broken down to 4 main sections. You have your government level security, your VIP protection, money transporting and stuff like that, healthcare security, hospitals, pharmaceutical companies, and your biggest is your building and perimeter security. Now, based on our secondary research and our market calls, the most attractive market is the building security, which makes up 61% of the market. Based on those same calls to other companies, we determined that healthcare, VIP protection, and the government level security are a less attractive market. They're not quite sure they need this product, and will need a little bit more education as to how they can utilize it. And now we'll talk about why we're so unique in this market. First, we have our product. The price to retail or to consumers is between $400 and $500. It has a 2,000 plus lumen output. It has a thermal imaging option. It has a strobe option to help dazzle that intruder, and it has a variable output. You can use this as a low output to see down a dark hallway, or the maximum output to use that strobing effect. In the flashlight market, our biggest competitor is Surefire. Now, for a flashlight of a similar power, you're going to run to $1,200. In addition, they do not have thermal capability, and so they do not compare with our product. Maglite, this is the police stable for the last 3 decades. They're large, they're heavy, and they're very cheap, but they have a very low output. They do not offer thermal, they do not strobe, and they do not have a variable output. Next is our biggest competitor in the thermal market. That's FLIR. Now, they have very good systems, but they are very expensive. In addition to that, none of them have a flashlight, and And then finally, the only product that is the same as ours is Scott Safety. They are the only one that has combined thermal and a flashlight. However, they are, as you can see, they are very expensive, and the flashlight they do have on it is very low power. And finally, we have Streamlight. This is the first responders' biggest tool. They make the strobe helmet lights for firefighters and security personnel. They're cheap. However, they have very low lumens and no thermal option. Now I'll hand it over to Joe to talk about how we can utilize this in your building.
Thanks, Tom. So at this point, we believe that we can make a successful transition into the market because of three main advantages. Those advantages, the first one being the fusion of technology that we have mentioned. And that is the combination of the thermal technology, which has recently been declassified by the military, as it is very advanced at this point. And also the flashlight technology, which includes the strobing and the variable output as well. Also, this is a price point that the market has not seen to this point. For that reason, we believe it could revolutionize the market in the way of sales. Also, with the collaboration with the market insiders that IDC has at this point, we believe that that will also help them become a market winner and utilize, utilize the most sales possible. At this point, IDC is looking at a manufacturing firm in Utah, and at this point, they would be distributing those to the customers themselves. Now, when we look at the fire and the police industries, we see that they will be using, distribution chains and supply chains to get their products out to their police forces, their fire forces. So we believe that to reach the security firms as well, the best thing to do would also be to utilize retailers, both brick and mortar retailers and also online retailers as well. Now, the brick and mortar retailers could be stores like Cabela's, Bass Pro Shops, Quantico Tactical is another store, and the online stores could be stores like Gauls, Optics Planet, LA Police Gear, SKD, stores like that. So we believe that retailers would be the best way to get the product out because at this point IDC really is not prepared to do the distribution themselves. We believe this would be the best way to achieve the most sales possible. So moving on, as Tom mentioned, the building security is about 61% of the $1.1 million market, or sorry, not dollar, 1.1 market with that being the amount of security guards in the market. So that's the demographic we're looking at. And if we reach, 5% of these people and receive responses from them in the way of just traffic on our website or requesting more information about our product, then this could be potentially a $3 million market if we were able to achieve just 1% of the entire demographic. So paired with fire and police as well, this could be a great addition to their sales as a whole. Now I'm going to turn it on to Aaron to talk about the partnerships that IDC has.
Thank you, Joe. So we've talked about what our solution is to the problem, as well as where we see ourselves fitting in with the security market. I'll be talking about who we think we need on our team now in order to get this product moving forward and sustain our advantage in the market. We have a partnership with Westinghouse, which provides us with the LED technology that makes our high lumen flashlight possible. Kaleidoscope, along with the Baylor Senior Design Team, has come up with the final conceptualization we saw on Brennan's slide earlier. Sleep Machine is an ad agency that will be in charge of the marketing, getting our name out there so people know who Paladin is and what they do. Axis 41 has put together a website for us that will be a key tool in establishing our brand name as well as starting some of the initial sales. So that's who we have on our team now. Paladin right now is a fairly small company, and we think it's going to need to grow in order to be successful in the future. So here's some people we need on our team in order to be successful. Right now we need programmers to set up the Raytheon core with the flashlight, to get the pins connected, ready for a release date, maybe in January of next year. In the near future, we suggest that Paladin hire new product engineers. Right now, we have an advantage in the marketplace with our combination of the technology. We're going to need to take that technology to another phase and stay ahead of the competition as they close in on the market and find new ways to combine the technologies we have access to and make new products for the future. As Joe suggested, we also think we need a distribution management team to identify the retailers that would be best suited to get this product to the security market as well as other possible markets. They can get our product out there so that it can be sold to the public. And now Ben is going to close us out.
Thanks, Aaron. So as we've discussed, we think IDC Paladin has a unique product at a very competitive price point. However, with the competitors we have in this industry, this advantage is very temporary. That's why, as Aaron mentioned, we need to focus on future product development. Phase 2 of this would potentially be the use of a heads-up display with the thermal imaging device, which would appeal very much to firefighters. We also need to be thinking beyond that to continue to innovate and stay ahead of our competition. Secondly, we need to protect the uniqueness of our product with patents legally, and we want to market to the private security industry. We've encountered some skepticism in this industry, so we need to make them aware of our product, educate them how they can use it and why thermal imaging is something that a security guard would use, and give them the motivation of the non-lethal option, situational awareness to ultimately save lives. We also have to keep in mind ITAR restrictions. According to the U.S. munitions list, Section 12C, the Raytheon ship thermal imaging device can't be exported, so this is going to have to be manufactured in the United States, in Utah, as we mentioned. So we believe private security could account for $3.2 million of revenue in year 1. Some of the steps we've identified going forward is for IDC to partner with both online and brick-and-mortar retailers. Potentially reconsider the price point, as we're order of magnitude less than our competition at this point. Educate the market about the advantage of combining a flashlight and thermal imaging. Protect our product patents, and hire the key personnel to continue the product generation. While we believe this is a very competitive industry, we think IDC Paladin has a unique product with some compelling capabilities. Furthermore, we've identified private security as a legitimate tertiary market. If IDC takes these above steps, focuses on their strengths, and forms the right partnerships, we believe they can be successful and ultimately achieve their goal of saving lives. This concludes our presentation. We'll open up to questions at this time.
Did you say the Raytheon chip was ITAR restricted?
Yes.
So you're gonna take a ITAR restricted chip and put it in for sale into something that could get shipped overseas?
Yes, sir. It's a practice that's commonly done with specifically rifle optics and other sites like that. The biggest thing is you just have to make very sure that where this thing is being shipped is inside the U.S. and that that person will not be shipping this out. For instance, you can't sell it to Jangling Export Services or something like that.
So normally, whenever you're doing something like that, I work in this space.
Yes, sir.
You're selling to the military, U.S. military, or you're selling to some kind of control. But if the bulk of your market is building security, you're not looking at a controlled, you're looking at, so here in Waco, we have Eagle Security that provides security for a lot of, that's a very uncontrolled type of environment.
Yes, sir.
That seems like that would be a bit of a challenge, getting past the ITAR issue,
Yes, sir.
to go to that market.
Yes, sir. As I mentioned, with a lot of weapon parts, that is currently the issue is ITAR restrictions.
Yeah.
And the suppliers has to be very sure that it is in fact going to a U.S. address, and that if that person does ship it out of the country, it is a felony. So they are covered by law.
The responsibility falls on that
Yes, sir.
person, not the original manufacturer.
Yes, sir.
Is that regulated by the ATF or which government?
It's
agency?
regulated by Homeland Security and ATF, depending on what exactly you're selling. In our situation, most likely Homeland Security.
I just see a huge potential for this. It's mind-blowing, the product advantages you have over all the competition. Not to say someone else is right now designing something similar, that's always a strong possibility, but but, you know, speed to market is tantamount to, you know, because you guys have a huge, IDC has a huge advantage here, I see. Now, as I understand, IDC primarily imports almost everything they sell. I think just a whole different challenge I see is a different mindset to source something locally made in the U.S. versus Asia, which is what IDC has always done in the past, and whether they truly have that cost nailed down correctly, because that seems amazingly low cost to me, you know, that to be that far below the competition. How is that, do you happen to know how that's, whether the cost study is accurate and if they truly have that kind of cost advantage?
Yes, sir. I'm currently working on a team that's helping to design this product. And as far as all the costs, the bulk sale or the bulk price of all the materials involved we determined is around $170.
So nice gross margin.
Yes.
Very nice. 3-time markup. I'd like to have that. Also, I had to comment of just, other than security and fire and rescue, is the military aspect of this. Selling, you know, gaining a GSA contract and selling to the military would just be another huge potential. Just, you know, I can see you guys having different divisions within this product, selling to security, fire and rescue, and military. You know, it's just enormous what the product scope and sales could be. Did you say that there's a third-party ad firm that's developing the marketing right now?
That's Sleep Machine. It's a Boston ad agency. They've already put out a few ads, and I think they're collaborating with the website to kind of work on the branding and just getting that out there.
Okay. Will this be a wholly owned subsidiary of IDC or a separate company? Or?
It's a separate company that they just have a partnership with.
Okay. And are they partnering with the supplier in Utah? Is that?
Yes, sir, they are.
Or if it's confidential, you don't have to share. All right. Well, because I want to invest in this company. Anyway, I just see this great, huge potential. It's enormous if you can execute the product. You know.
And the supplier in Utah is an outsourced manufacturer, if I understand correctly. It's not an IDC installation.
Yes, sir.
The only thing that occurred to me, when we're talking about a 3X markup, is because yours is a magnitude lower than the competition, and you have some, what seemed to me as an uneducated viewer here to be some technical advantages, you might want to think about reevaluating that up. Because you got some things you're selling, why not go ahead and grab some more margin while you can?
And I think Ben mentioned reevaluating our price point. The problem we can see with that is if we're selling it to security officers, they're not going to want to spend more than $400 or $500 on such a product.
Which was my next question was, have you talked to some of the users in the market to find out where that pain point is?
And we think keeping it low is good for the security officers because they don't make a very high annual salary.
So you'd be selling to
do
the
you have
security
do you have
officers, not
feedback?
the companies.
Based on the people we've talked to who we've shared the price with, they consider $500 to be reasonable. We haven't asked them about a price that's perhaps double that or something like that, but we could do that research as well.
If you had a higher lumen version to sell to the military, that's the one. The military's got the budget. There's 6x markup, you know.
Right. Yeah, you and I as taxpayers have paid that bill.
Hey, that's if you really want to know, so that's the world I live in. I would really seriously consider putting, if you're looking at time, effort, and result, I would really look at putting the military as the top. How does, I couldn't tell by this. So you got a flashlight, I figure out the strobe. Where are you seeing the thermal imaging?
So the flashlight's been designed, the handle is actually placed low on the head.
Right.
So that entire surface above the handle
Is
will be
basically
a screen,
a
exactly.
screen. Okay.
How much does it weigh?
It will be about the weight of a gun. This is going to be combined with holster, so the holster and this flashlight will counteract the weight of the gun on the other hip. So it's no more than a couple of pounds. Yes, sir. And the lumen output is actually significantly above 2,000 lumens. It'll be around the 2,100 lumen range.
For something that's
Based on the primary research that we did, we determined, I guess, that most of the building security guards have to purchase their equipment on their own, as opposed to the other branches such as healthcare and government level that go through supply chains. So,
So you're taking someone who traditionally is gonna make between 20 and 40,000 and asking them to buy a $500 product. That's.
To help save their life.
Yeah, that's still a tough sell. I think that's why the mag lights are so popular at $35.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this saves their life. I mean, I would invest in it. I would certainly would.
Oh, versus tough sell versus military that can place, I like 47,000 of these, next Tuesday.
Military or police departments that can buy in bulk and give.
Yeah, like
I
9
think a function of that is IDC, since I know the company, they're 100% based right now selling through retail distribution, all their product, all their contacts, their buyer contact. I don't believe at this juncture they have a GSA contract or sell to governmental agencies at this point. So it's real easy for them to go after the retail market first, probably.
Yeah, then my statement about pricing it up, forget I said that. It's not gonna work. I was thinking more about bulk sales, like to the military, to police departments, where it's a great tool that I can provide to my officers to reduce.
Hunters. Hunters
Oh, yeah.
for this.
Yeah.
Now you wanna talk about somebody with disposable income who would drop $500 on.
If you're gonna be in retail stores, and you talk about Cabela's,
Yeah.
I mean,
I would love to take this night hog hunting, that would be fun.
That's probably a bigger market than Hunters is gonna be a bigger market than this. I think if you're trying to sell to an individual security officer who is in that income bracket, that's gonna be a stretch, that's gonna be awfully tough.
Have you guys looked into any of the sporting market?
We did look at hunters, and the problem with our product is that the thermal is configured for a shorter range. It wouldn't be as good at a long-range spotting for hunting or something like that, so that usability wouldn't be as good there.
also, using thermal imaging to hunt game is illegal in, I think, more than half the state.
It's not for hunting hogs.
That's for hunts and stuff, but for if you're caught in season in a lot of states, not so much in the south, but in the north, if you have a thermal imager on you and the game warden walks up and something is in season, you can get some serious trouble with it.
Will certain components of it be imported, like the case, the bulbs, will be imported, and just make more or less a final assembly operation in Utah?
Yes. For instance, the bulbs are from Philips. Many of the parts that are not covered by ITAR can be imported.
All right, let's give this team a hand.